Descent into Darkness, a Call of Cthulhu campaign.
Hello and welcome back to Deathwatch's Call of Cthulhu campaign, Descent into Darkness, Season 4. What episode is it, Brandon? 29. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you. It's one of them, that's for sure. And we are returning to the desert, ready to set off once again now that you've dealt, perhaps temporarily, with those pesky desert wolves. But before we continue the journey, let's get an introduction from our investigators.
I'm Brandon, playing Bartholomew Wentworth, and I am happy to have just fired my rifle at annoying Bedouin raiders.
I'm Chris. I'm playing Charles Stanton, the guide and big game hunter for this group. I too am happy I got to shoot something.
I'm John, playing Joseph Thomas, and I also shot some stuff.
It's Joseph Thompson.
No, changed my name. I killed too many people. You guys don't do that in your everyday lives?
It's a good tradition. If you live a sinful life, change your name, go on a new path. All right, so...
I used to be Joel Tomlinson. So...
Now you're like, call me Joseph, and then you have a halo around your head. I've been a good guy.
I've been reborn.
Unfortunately, once you hit that point, the next step's martyrdom.
Okay, so it's Friday, March 31st, the night of. You guys are traveled for a little bit after your altercation, and you've set up camp, and you are taking it easy. There's a kind of hope that comes over you when the sun begins to settle for the day, or that the heat of the day will soon abate, but it's a false hope because it doesn't get cool until the morning. But you have this hope every night when the sun goes down. But for some reason, the heat's going to hang in there for quite a few hours more. Nevertheless, you're sitting there. We'll check in with you, Mr. Wentworth, cooling down from a battle and the day's travel. What is it that Mr. Wentworth does to de-stress, I suppose? Or was shooting Bedouin?
That does de-stress me pretty good. But, yeah, probably I'm just writing in my journal and relaxing, not doing anything important.
So you hear a voice outside of your... Are you in a tent again? Yeah, repurpose one.
Yeah.
Kick some of the Yemeni out since yours got blown to smithereen.
Well, we brought extras.
Right. You hear a voice with an Irish lilt to it. Ask, Mr. Wentworth, are you in there?
Yes, come in, Mr. Irishman.
Ray Flanagan.
Mr. Flanagan, come in.
Yeah. Basically, he's asking after your BAR.
Yeah. I actually have that set up in my tent. I'll have that up on the table.
That is a pretty lass.
Or on my crates,
The desert is fair teeming with goblins, and that'll do to banish them. If you know how to make her sing. Do you, Mr. Wentworth?
I have little experience with these type of weapons, Mr.
May
Flanagan. Absolutely.
She looks like a queen in a sailor's dream.
Consider it a gift.
If you'd like, I could train you on this.
Yes, I would like that.
Well, I've been doing a fair bit of calculation in me head and the whiskey you brought, and given the current rate of consumption, I'm fearful that we'll run out before the supply can be restocked. Might you consider rationing the rest of the expedition? Except for me, of course.
Actually, yes, I will. Yeah, with my stock anyway, I'll start rationing it.
Well, then we have a bargain, my lord.
Truly a king.
Yeah. So yeah, he says I'll have to clear it with Boss Man first, but we should have a moment each night to fire it a little bit, or I can show you the the ropes, so to speak.
Yeah, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
And he goes on his way. So we'll follow Ray Flanagan. Our camera is at his shoulder as he walks through the right, getting some drunko vision. People are floating in and out there. And he says something unintelligible to the Yemeni as he passes by them, but makes him laugh. And of course, they don't even speak English, much less Irish English, to understand what it was that he said.
Did you ever see the music video for the Prodigy's Smack My Bitch Up?
I think so.
Yeah, where it's just all first person and they're getting drunker and stoned. And yeah, that's how I picture Flanagan saying something to the Yemeni, laughing, just punching some random guy that pops up.
Yeah, so then outside your tent, you hear the recognizable voice of Ray Flanagan, Mr. Stanton, call, "Mr. Stanton, are you awake?"
"Yes, come in."
Just a small question for you. I was wondering if you might spare me to train that Mr. Wentworth on that pretty gun of his. No more than an hour per night, I should think."
I do worry about the Bedouins that are currently looking for us, but they'll probably already know where we are.
He sighs as though he'd received news that his dear mother had just passed from this earth. "I suppose I could just show him how the gun functioned without actually shooting anything."
No, like I said, they probably already know where we are. I'll allow it, Mr. Flanagan, but my curiosity is piqued. You're not one to usually go out of your way to give yourself more work. What are you getting out of it?
Whiskey.
All right, very well. Can't have you drying out. Earn your keep.
Thank you, boss. And he wanders back into the night. We follow him a little longer where he goes by Mr. Thompson's tent, or perhaps back by Mr. Wentworth's tent if you guys are shacking up together.
Yeah.
Where, Mr. Thompson, you are at this stage that something about the Vorish sign is stumping you. You've tried a couple of times to do it correctly. And as I said on your last attempt, you can basically try it every day until you learn it. And it's that hard intelligence roll. You don't think it's in the particular way you hold your fingers. Maybe it's because you're just trying to do it on its own and not in conjunction with casting a spell, as the Liber Ivanus suggests it seems to enhance, but you're not entirely sure what is holding you up. But nevertheless, you can make another attempt on it tonight if you'd like.
I figure it's one of those things like, rolling a coin across the back of your fingers, right? It seems impossible for so long. And then one at a time, you just do it, and then you can do it from then on.
Something in the repetition trains the nervous system.
But not today, unfortunately.
No. Nope, you're about 12 points from a hard success. Did you want to pour some of your luck into
my newfound luck?
I need my lightning rod for
right
bad
now.
luck back. Things are getting too
maybe
easy
tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll just be sitting there on the cot, though, making this gesture over and over again at Mr. Wentworth. As hopefully he's got his back turned to me or he's sleeping. And so just repeatedly doing that.
Well, given you've done, chanting without his understanding of why in his presence, this might be a little more mundane. But yes, Mr. Wentworth, you see Thompson sitting on his cot, just trying to do something with his hands.
Oh yeah, I'll turn away, give him some privacy.
Okay, so both of you can give me a spot hidden in your tent there.
Exactly what I needed.
We got any penalties?
No, well, not unless you're exhausted. If you guys want to know where you currently stand,
I think he's the only one
am
that
I?
didn't get. I think Brandon was the only one.
Wentworth has level 1, and looks like Thompson actually has level 2.
Yeah, because we failed after the shootout.
Yeah.
I succeeded.
Yeah.
So you got the same thing, Mr. Thompson.
Same. Got exactly what I needed.
Oh.
His eyeballs popped. I shouldn't have done this sign at him.
All right. So let me paint the scene of your tent here, Mr. Wentworth. Unfortunately, despite your success, Thompson, you do not see anything. as Mr. Wentworth's fumble has altered the course of reality. So your tent is like a canvas tent brought back from home or Cairo, wherever it was picked up, you know, because they're of a sturdier construction than what the locals use, in a way, easier to pack for your mind. But anyway, it doesn't have a bottom, right? But you do lay down things like rugs and stuff to give it some appearance of comfort. So there are parts where you can see just the earth that you're traveling through, and it's not uncommon to see little rodent holes, you know, where they dig and stuff, but you actually do see one in the corner as you cast an idle glance in that direction, where when you look into the darkness of this rodent hole, you can see something glimmering there.
Okay. I'll flash my torch in that direction.
All right. Yeah, it whatever it does, whatever it is, does reflect the light more, but it doesn't quite illuminate what is reflecting it. Something shiny like a jewel, perhaps, you know, but not its exact nature. Looking from your cot over to where that hole is, you would have to get closer to it.
Yeah. I guess I'll go investigate then. What is this?
Well, you can give me another spot hidden as you got your light at it or on it.
Success.
Okay. So yeah, you definitely think it's a jewel as you get closer, and maybe something else, you're not sure. Mr. Thompson, give me an idea roll as he's kind of closer and peering into the
I'll
hole.
say, there's a jewel over here.
That's intelligence, by the way.
Okay. Let's say I don't have that on this sheet.
Yeah, so you're, having been bitten by a snake,
I got
you
even
are...
better
That's true, you get an extreme
from
success.
the penalty.
You are concerned about snakes coming out of holes as you were bitten. And actually, when you were clearing this area and you guys were setting up your tent, you had kicked away, Mr. Thompson, like the molted snake skin from some bygone time that was just in the area. So as he's sort of approaching this, you know, with the glint of discovery in his eye, you know, from your end, Mr. Thompson, you're worried about snakes. So you're kind of watching this. You've said nothing yet.
Oh, and it won't do to have him get bit. It was a terrible, terrible thing. So I'm going to have to say something. It's Bartholomew. Wait,
Mr. Thompson, was it so bad? Because you learned about the idol of Cthulhu and its healing properties. Perhaps if something bad happens to Mr. Wentworth, he could just start carrying around his own idol of Cthulhu.
Well, I still have my armor, so...
Isn't this his idol that I've got?
It is, but you've
then
been,
it's going to be even
holding
worse.
on to it for resurch purposes. Anyhow, but yeah, so he says, wait. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt what you were saying, Thompson.
Yeah, just be careful, as there were snakes in here before we set up camp. Don't
Well, you can...
have you bit. Would you like me to sacrifice myself?
That's true. You guys... Well, give me a luck roll, Mr. Wentworth. We'll say if...
Getting close to the setting sun.
It is the setting sun, but that indefinable point where the spell protection ends has passed. Unbeknownst to you, perhaps.
Right.
You may have
unless
your
you
armor as the
want
best you can say.
unless you want to try, because you passed your casting the last time, right?
No, I failed it.
He's got an appointment with relearning it tomorrow.
Yeah. But I will, when he says that, I will go slower and, take a closer look before I get closer, shine the light in there and see if it looks like a snake or not.
Okay, so...
Maybe I'll grab something close to hand, like a pole, or I'll put, I'll put my bayonet on my rifle and poke at it with that.
All right. So first up, as you were approaching and he stopped you, you shine your light down there. Again, you can positively ID there's something like a shining jewel down there and something else, but it's not shiny. It's just, it could be a rock for all you know.
Yeah.
And don't snakes have scales that might reflect the light a little bit?
Yeah.
Most of them. You could do a natural world roll.
I don't know, man. Maybe you should...
I'll give you a bonus with in this particular case.
I was going to say, maybe you should stop having them roll.
Yeah, roll
for
that
today.
bonus die so it's not another fumble.
Very nice.
Change your fortunes quite well there.
Was that a
So,
hard?
change it to an 8. So, yeah, that's a hard success. So what you see could very well be a snake. Because there is that horned viper whose scales are not shiny, who have a colorment and a texture that's meant to blend in with rocky desert earth.
Yeah.
And you know that rodent burrows do look a little bit different. So it's very likely a snake
Yeah.
in there. So if you were to reach your hand, that would be... But you've affixed your bayonet.
Yeah. I think you might be right, Thompson. I think it is a snake.
Should we,
Just put the barrel of that bar in there and
yeah, just,
Yeah, I mean, I'll
blast it.
Start poking at it.
stab it with my...
Yeah, you just like pokes, meant to move it or something like that, will have the intended effect. If you want to try to stab it, you can roll your rifle skill. We'll put the bayonet stab in that category. Kind of a different, it's like not trained to most people, but if you're in a soldier, you would have learned it.
Hard success.
Yeah, so you poke it in there as quick as you can, and you feel, the sensation of stabbing into something travel down the bayonet and the gun and into your hands. So you're pretty sure you got something on it.
Better pull that trigger
and see what it is.
And it was a good move because it was a horned viper. And it's still alive, coiling, but stuck on the end of your bayonet.
Yeah.
they'll be alive for a while anyway.
Better fling it out the front of that tent right into Ray Flanagan. No.
Yeah, so I'll just hold it down and tell Thompson, get a spade or something. Come finish this thing off.
Yeah, I'll grab whatever we've got to hand that will give me some reach, and we'll work to attempt to decapitate it, as we could just bury the head.
2 grown men, trained soldiers, both. It's not much of a challenge. I don't think there's a skill roll required.
Give it to Vincent. He'll put it in whatever soup or stew.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
So you've dispatched the horned viper, which leaves the jewel.
Oh, okay. So there is a jewel.
If you something shiny like a jewel.
This was a dragon. Then this had a horde.
It was
It was a baby dragon.
Yeah,
I'll
baby
get
dragon.
my,
We killed one.
my spade and I'll
start.
Yeah, I don't want to put my hand in the hole.
Because surely there's only one snake ever in a burrow.
Right. So I'll use my spade to fish that jewel out.
So give me a luck roll.
Are we on top of a sinkhole and removal of the jewel will...
Hard success.
No worries.
Yeah, we'll fall
I was just going to
into
see if it was just randomizing things a little bit.
Failed his luck roll. He pulls out some eldritch symbol that drives everyone that looks at it mad.
Or like plutonium, so we can all get radiation sickness and die.
Right. Yeah, so you dig it out with that spade, and you get it up on the flat earth, and you can see it. Yes, it is an actual jewel. It's a garnet.
How big is it?
How many carats?
Does it look
well, you can
cut?
give me... No. Well, yes, actually it does. Yes, it does look like it was cut. But you can give me a praise roll, both of you who are looking at it.
Stand back. I have a
$1
15.
billion. And you concur.
We both fumbled. Well, because we got 5
Well, yeah,
for our
it's
skills.
pretty
so
terrible skill.
Yeah, I think it's worth $1 billion.
I would agree with that assessment. Maybe even $2 billion.
Okay, so how will this fumble manifest itself? Here's what I will go with. It may have value, but the problem that both of you are thinking of is, the odds and ends you found on this land, whether it be idols or whatnot, seem to have bad luck, in the sense that as soon as you started messing with, the idol of Lilith that you guys had found, then bad things befell the camp. Mr. Thompson got bit by a snake, and here you have a garnet, innocuous at first, but, it's in a snake's hole. If you pull it out and start flashing it around, is it going to spook all the... You don't know what its effect would have on the rest of the camp. Mm-hmm. And you yourselves might have become a little superstitious based off of recent events.
Right.
So it may be valuable, but it may be just better off to throw it in the hole.
Leave it for some other.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what does a cut gem just doing hanging out in a snake hole, by the way?
Part of the superstition.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can reason that you are on a path that many Bedouin, perhaps even merchant in a bygone era, have passed from east to west because it's right on the edge of the Rub al Khali.
Also, we're right out of a well-worn trail, essentially, right out of those that lowland channel or the hill channel, whatever the heck it was called.
And in your case, Thompson, you know that objects can have, with your understanding of the idol of Sithagua, properties beyond just the physical.
I'm waiting for Thompson to put the idol in with all of our wounded men that we got currently, seeing if that...
And in fact, as you inspect it and you're looking at the fractals as the light plays on the garnet, you're looking into the interior of the gem. It almost seems like there's a sinuous shape that forms just long enough that you think you can see something there, but then it will disappear as the light changes or the angle you're holding the garnet changes. So it's snake-like at first.
I really don't think that that we should be playing with this, and unfortunately, you've probably already incurred the wrath of whatever god this belonged to.
And its coloration is green, by the way, if I didn't say that. Yeah.
But I feel like I almost could see...
Bury
like
it with the
interior.
Snake head.
Okay.
As if you want to get real safe about it, let's also... we should probably sacrifice one of the Yemeni to it.
Roll a d4 for me, Mr. Thompson.
A 2.
Okay, so you look away from the garnet for a moment back down to this hole, and you can see that there appears to be another one in the dirt.
Another snake or another garnet?
Another garnet. Also green. It's smaller than the one that caught Mr. Wentworth's eye.
This is all, I'm not going to grab it, but I will exclaim that, it must be cursed, and I'll point back down, say, look, it's already duplicated itself.
All right, so he points that out. I'll dig that out too.
Yeah. Whether you can see the same pattern in that one is not as clear because it is maybe half the size of the initial one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little harder to see details in the kaleidoscope interior of the garnet.
Maybe this was a burial place, and these, over time, the sands have shifted enough and brought these to the surface. So
maybe.
Now we're grave robbers.
Yeah, I'm not really concerned about that. I don't really believe in that nonsense.
Well, you could give me a natural world roll, Mr. Thompson, with that line of thinking.
Yeah, just to fill.
Or geology, I suppose, if you have that trained.
I don't know that I do. Let me check. No, I don't even have it on the sheet.
Yeah. Well, clearly they were likely put here, as you're saying, with like a burial or just dropped because they're cut. So, they wouldn't be naturally occurring.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like Thompson does that, for whatever reason it could be bad, but I am going to keep it.
Okay.
Because the shape I almost saw has intrigued me too much to let it go. So I'm going to keep it. I don't know what else we would do with it anyways.
What about you, Mr. Thompson? Will you keep the smaller of the pair?
But if I sell them, I'll split it.
I didn't.
You're going to let them have both?
I didn't take them. Yeah, I mean, I'll keep an eye over him, but I think this is bad business.
If I make any money off them, I'll split it with you. But let's keep this to ourselves. What do you say?
Well, I think that's a good idea. As
Okay.
these locals are way too suspicious of everything, and they've got me thinking the same way.
I'll put them in like my pouch. But you know what? Well, I am a little curious about just these random gems in a hole. So I'm going to do a little bit of digging with my spade.
No sleep was had that night.
I think this is metagaming because I'm not sure Mr. Wentworth would do this,
all,
but I know Brandon would do
Yeah.
I'll
start
start repeating the Vorish sign at
I'll
the
just,
hole.
I'll go like a foot or two down.
This is going to cause a problem because he's going to start digging, and then all the other men in camp are going to see. And Stanton's going to wake up in the morning and walk out. They're no sleep. They've dug a hole. Lord knows how many feet deep and wide now.
No, I'm inside the tent. Nobody can see me dig. I'll just go down a foot or two.
Flanagan's at the tent flap watching.
Yeah.
And because of
Those are my gems.
because of the idols, most of them are going to eat the dirt and die.
Okay, so we'll pause there while Wentworth begins digging around this snake hole, and Mr. Thompson continues practicing the Vorish sign, and we'll jump over to Mr. Stanton, because there was another thing that occurred during the setup of the camp. Okay, so yeah, when this Mr. Brown was brought back wounded and in such a state that he probably wasn't going to be able to get up and about and look at terrain features to help Whiteman find oil. Whiteman was very, he went to darker shades than he normally is. His face turned almost purple, and he started cussing appropriately Mr. Brown for running off doing a foolish thing like that and getting himself shot. But, Mr. Brown was in no state to really say anything. But you did see Whiteman, look cast around the camp for somebody to pour his ire into. But his gaze met yours, and he thought better of doing any of that in that moment, right? So that's sort of the setup. But now it's later on, and, things have settled, and Ray Flanagan has left with his request. And now you hear a voice some minutes later, Mr. Whiteman's hated southern drawl. Mr. Stanton, are you in there? We need to talk about this situation.
Stanton will eye the elephant rifle sitting nearby. Mr. Whiteman.
May I come in, or do I gotta stand out here like a dog?
I actually picture Stanton's tent being one of those, almost front open ones. So I can...
So maybe he's just a vampire and he's asking for permission to cross the threshold.
Fine, Whiteman. Enter.
Well, I don't know if my man's gonna make it this whole way.
Stanton will
the way he is now.
Put a cheroot in his mouth and start lighting that up while Bowman begins this sob story or whatever it is. He'll offer Whiteman one too.
Yeah, I'll take it. But he mostly just gestures with it for the next few minutes while he's talking to you. He's like, well, I know that may not concern you overly much, but as it stands, our little contract and the one I carry with Wentworth is provisional on the protection of me and my men as we travel through this land. So if you are interested in money, as you should be if you're a smart man, then we have got to do something about Mr. Brown. You have another doctor around here, I presume, perhaps a personal one that you haven't been given over to the general populace, but something must be done. And I reckon that problem falls at your feet, Mr. Stanton.
Does it now?
Indeed.
Well, I do not have a private doctor, as Sala was the one that I hired for this trek. My other one recently decided to mosey on down the road, as you Yanks like to say. And as for the protection of your men, yes, I do agree that it is my duty to protect this whole caravan. But I cannot protect a man from his own idiocy, which is obvious in the state of, was it Mr. Brown, was it?
Yes.
Whiteman, Brown, I'm beginning to notice a pattern when it comes to you lot.
Well,
the best hope you got is the, what is the town?
Oh, Alafan.
Yeah.
Fan.
The best you got is Alafan, some, 50 miles, 75 miles to the northeast of here?
Yeah, I thought it would be something like that, but how are we going to get him there in one piece?
Drag him behind a camel?
You have the means to do that, sir.
Now, if you were to ask me what I would do, Mr. Whiteman, I'd dig a shallow grave and put him in it. It's a grievous wound to a part of the body that is, if I'm being frank with you, out of the medical capabilities of, 90-some-odd% of the people in these lands. It's going to require surgery. Severe and extensive surgery, and even in the States, he would probably die. Succumb to that horrible wound.
Well, I would agree with you, and I do agree with you generally, sir, but...
Do you now? Color me surprised, Mr. Whiteman.
He is an asset of the Standard Oil of Kentucky, or New Jersey, sorry.
Well, you should have kept a better hold on your assets.
Perhaps so, but we are where we are now, and we have to look at the lie of the land. So...
I missed an opportunity to tell him to speak, not spit.
Right. That's the game master's fault. Whiteman's much smoother than me. I got some cool ideas from Thompson down here in the chat. Are you whispering those to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
All right. Well, it will serve with our contract if you can just assure me that we don't leave him in a ditch somewhere. Like I said, he is if he were just a man, we could dig a hole for him and put him in it, but he's also an asset. So I gotta be responsible for that.
I understand. I'm responsible for a good deal of things that I wish I could just leave in a ditch as well. So
that was not lost on me, Mr. Stanton.
Oh, you think I'm referring to you?
Or anyone.
Yes, do note that it is not solely you I wish to leave in a ditch, Mr. Whiteman. In fact, I find your company rather pleasant most of the time. I wish most of you Yanks were more upfront.
Well, that is all I had to bother you about tonight, sir. I'll leave you with your evening.
Thank you, Mr. Whiteman.
Thank you for the cheroot.
Light for the road.
Yes, please.
Now.
Bends down.
Now.
But you pull a pistol and blast his head out.
Oh, if only.
All right, so let's...
Wasn't there something about that idol
right,
that
that's
healed
what
people?
Joseph was telling me about.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll reel back the clock to the camp gets settled. It's earlier in the evening, and Mr. Thompson is looking at where they have Mitchell Brown laid out on a litter there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sort of muttering in a daze, one brought on by pain, you think, Mr. Thompson. But nevertheless, it's made him almost catatonic. And I'll hand it over to you.
So I'll go in and sit next to him, and I'll try to gauge, I guess, consciousness or awareness, as if he is at all.
He is conscious. He's just in a fair bit of pain, the kind that he doesn't seem to be able to hear you very well over. Like, he can get sort of simple things, like if you ask him, do you want some water, he would say yes to it. But if you try to, get a little bit more complicated than that, or get into some trivial matter, he's just sort of, like groaning and writhing as best as he can.
What is the fly speed of the African swallow?
Once, are we alone? Or alone-ish, I guess.
It's
no
in the general medical area, so...
a bunch of out-of-it guys.
Yeah.
Also wounded.
All right, well, I'll take a couple glances around and make sure that nobody is watching, but I'm going to slip that idol under the blanket, put it next to him. Like, where did he get shot? He got shot in the...
It was in the upper part of his leg.
Okay, yeah, I'll slip
like
it down...
the pelvis or...
by his hips then, or by his hip, and I'll tell him, or I'll ask him, do you want the pain to stop?
Yeah, I mean, he gets that and he cries out, yes, morphine.
Tell him that,
more.
Pray to Zathagua, accept him into your heart, and he will heal you. Do this. Make him your god.
I'm picturing Joseph Thompson looking more and more like a tribal shaman, but with that same look.
Right. All right, give me a power roll.
I'll also tell him that there is whiskey aplenty at the end of this road, and very soon.
Well, you can do a power roll, or you can do one of your social skills, so like persuade.
Yeah, I'll do the persuade.
Okay, go for it.
Nice.
Hard
Well done,
success.
hard success. So, in effect, this is not too different from what a nurse might do in a Christian hospital, but instead of Jesus, you're extolling the virtues of accepting Cthulhu as your personal savior. He'll take your pain away, and
Replace it
perhaps
with
the
hunger.
unstated thing is a divine hunger, right? But you can have a soothing manner, and he does seem to open up to it. And he's like, whatever will work, I'll do it. I swear I won't turn away when I'm better. I promise.
As I'll tell
just
him
need-
that it helped me. 'Cause this is what healed me. It'll heal you too.
Yes, I'll do it. I just need Cthulhu and more whiskey and more morphine. That'll get me.
I'll take another look around, but I will give him some whiskey. Just pull my flask out and give him a swallow.
This triggers Flanagan's whiskey sense.
Well,
Somebody else is
Mr.
drinking.
Wentworth will start rationing it for everybody else, but that might solve Brown's upcoming problem if Thompson will give him his share or something like that. But nevertheless, he splutters when he drinks at the whiskey, like a thirsty man drinking water. He chokes and splutters, but gives a relieved sigh that is immediately cut off by another wince of pain. And he says, what do I have to say to this Cthulhu?
And what would you say to any god? Right? Give yourself to him. I don't think that I necessarily said anything, did I? I think from what I remember,
You were more like focusing on it.
Yeah, just focus your mind on the idol. Focus on Cthulhu. That's all you do. You don't have to speak. You don't have to, do anything other than that. Just focus all of your intent and will onto the idol and Cthulhu.
Okay, so now give me a power roll as you begin the first step in spreading the good word of our Lord Granter of Secrets.
I'll use that one luck.
Okay. So with that successful power roll, and now you have your first, what do you call him?
Convert.
Disciple. If he succumbs to the nature of Cthulhu, which divine craving do you think Mr. Thompson should have? And you're welcome to open it up to the rest of the table as a meta discussion if you'd like.
It's never.
I have a list, but it can be anything that the imagination can conjure.
Bullets. I'll leave it up. I'll leave it up to
Bullets are on the table.
Sand.
Sand's a good one. Plenty of it.
Yeah. Never go hungry.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Let's
Oil.
see. Said oil.
Start drinking the lubricating oil for the drill bit.
I think actual crude is what he hungers for because it's already on his mind.
Makes him even more of an effective oil hound.
Yeah, he's a literal.
Yeah.
Fits probably within his psychology a little bit. So would Sand, for that matter, being a geologist. But the ultimate decision comes down to you, Mr. Thompson.
All right, so it's gonna end up being the sand recommendation.
Okay. Divine hunger.
There's one more, and he would have went for the crude.
Acquired sand. When it's acquired, if it's acquired. But yeah, you can see him muttering a kind of wordless prayer, or you don't hear the words as you watch him attempt to turn his attention to Cthulhu. Now, as I said, you were in this medical area and nobody else was very concerned with you. However, Matvey, who's on the other side, is staring at you and Mr. Brown for some inexplicable reason. Normally, his gaze is always cast to the northeast.
It's all, what would it be to read somebody like that?
Psychology.
Oh, let's give it a shot. Success.
Nice.
Yeah, so he has an expression of awe on his face, the same as he sometimes does when he gazes to the northeast, or most recently when he looked at the comet that is visible in the night sky, even now. But now, as he looks at you and Mr. Wentworth, you can see that same expression on his face, as though he's seeing something transcendent occurring.
Do you know, Lord Sagua?
Yeah, I'll leave Mr. Brown and I'll go sit next to Matvey and ask him if he is. What is he in here for? What happened to him?
He got beat up by Flanagan and never fully recovered.
Yeah, they Sala trepanned him, and he's just been in here because he's got like 2 hit points and he never gains any because you guys are always traveling through the desert.
I'll ask him if he's. I'll ask him if he's tired of suffering.
His eyes will kind of blink and focus on you, and he'll just say, "What's suffering?"
As I'll try to persuade with him as well if it'll work. I think the idol is close enough.
We'll do it at the hard
extreme
level because
success.
Oh, you did it! All right. So what are you persuading him about?
Same thing. As focus on the idol, focus on Zathagua, give himself over, and he will, and his days in this tent will soon be done. As he will be healthy and whole, and he will rejoin the rest of his company.
Is that what that beautiful emptiness was over you and Mr. Brown?
Yes, it was the ultimate peace.
You'll never feel it, though. Never, ever, 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 ever. And he kind of was muttering like that for a while.
As I'll shush him. Not like sternly or anything, just gently. Just give yourself to it.
Yeah, he has a difficult to read expression on his face. His features are kind of blunt, and on top of that, the emotion has been burned out of him by war, particularly on when you're on the side that loses horribly, where like an entire division is destroyed and you were one of the few survivors. But he kind of shrugs and he's like, why not? What do I do, Mr. Thompson?
And I'll go through the same type of explanation. Less about pain, though, right? And more about restoring himself, restoring his mind. Believe in Zathagua. Focus on the idol. Focus on that emptiness and give yourself to it.
There is one thing that occurs to you. You're not sure exactly how the idol works. You know it has some insidious effect. You have a sort of unarticulated sense that this is something to do with proximity and attention. And he's on the other side of the this tent, the medical tent, for lack of a better term.
Is there an empty bed next to Mr. Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to help move him.
Okay.
As tell him you need to be closer, though, because it won't work from all the way over here.
He's not omnipotent.
So you get him moved over there, and Matvey settles on his cot, and he says to Mitchell Brown, "Good evening, Mr. Brown." To which Mr. Brown just winces and moans in pain, and goes back to his silent prayer, which you know is focused on Zathagua.
And I'll move the idol to the other side so that it's in between the two, and I'll show it to Matvey, and it's like just hold the image in your mind as like almost showcasing it to him, right? Like turn it around so that he can see all sides of it, and I'll ask him just nod when you have it firmly fixed in your head.
Mumble like this man does.
You don't need to. As all you do is focus on it, hold that image in your mind, and again, surrender yourself to it, accept it.
All right, another power roll, Mr. Thompson.
Success.
To what divine hunger would Zathagua grant to Matvey Vanya?
What's
Again,
some of his
discussion?
What's some of his background, Stanton?
Well,
the juice from his trepanning hole.
Cerebrospinal fluid.
Yeah,
Stuff.
It doesn't have to be his own,
right?
But that's
Anybody's will do
that's
it.
where it would start.
Okay.
That might be a little difficult for him to get at.
That's the fun part.
That's
all right.
That's the wisdom of Zathagua.
Was Mr. Wentworth any other ideas, or you? As I don't know enough of his background.
Well, he's a Russian sniper whose division was wiped out. He's all the son of a
Cabbage.
rich man.
Cabbage or the flesh of his friends.
It's a little too mundane. Even the flesh of one's friends is a little too mundane because it means you have to make friends.
Oh, he doesn't have any?
Well, he's him and Ray. Since Ray beat
Yeah.
a hole in his head, they've been pretty good friends.
But unfortunately, like, as far as the other men in the camp goes, he's been mostly laid up. So
Yeah, I'm fine with that. There's cerebral fluid when opportunity presents.
All right, so Mr. Thompson, you feel an inexplicable sense of satisfaction, and we'll stop there for tonight. Not
for the
plan,
game.
just for the day. But we'll give you one scene that none of the investigators know, but for the player's benefit, that in some space that you're not sure of what its nature is, only that it looks like a classroom, there is an old German professor looking out at the window into the night, and a slow, satisfied smile spreads on his face. Okay.
Never mind. Just go for it.
No, you go.
No, I'll talk to you after the session because
okay.
it's theory crafting.
Oh, okay. All right. So the day ends. There's nothing you can do to stop it. The sun goes down and your body gets tired.
What is this? Are we in April
So this
now?
becomes Saturday, April 1st.
Did I find anything more in my hole?
Oh, no. You. How late do you want to dig for?
Just, I said I'll just go down like a couple feet.
Okay. Well, you can give me we'll do an extreme, if you pass an extreme luck roll.
Come on, Brandon.
No luck.
Just burn some. Oh, I guess I can't do it on a luck.
No, nothing besides more molted snake skin and...
Burn skill and attribute to...
You do find, more stones that are unique. They aren't gemstones necessarily, but, you're digging up naturally occurring stones in the desert. And some more of those interesting obsidian rocks you had been seeing recently.
Yeah.
But no more gems, no more garnets.
Okay.
Okay.
I will be having my men setting up various watches, and Flanagan and Marco will be
Right.
out with their machine guns set up somewhere nearby. And
Yeah.
For the most part, they can. They're all veterans. They combat nap, basically. They'll be fine.
Okay, so, as I said, a new day, Saturday, April 1st, seems to be about as hot as tomorrow or yesterday was, but when you first wake up, it is actually very refreshing because it gets down to like the low 60s by the time you get to the morning. So the coolness is at just the right level. It's very dry, so you're not completely satiated from the heat. Like you still feel thirsty no matter how much you drink. And I guess we can start with you, Mr. Wentworth, but as you wake and you're looking around the camp, it suddenly dawns on you that the people that you left Boston with, who you've seen their faces for the last month, now all look like 10 pounds lighter, and they have like a leaner expression, and might make you wonder what you would look like if you catch yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no matter what you do, you guys haven't been short on food, you haven't been particularly hungry. You're just losing body mass.
Sweating it all out. Okay.
But as the day begins, we find ourselves in Stanton's tent, looking at the lay of the land ahead and preparing to make his navigation roll for the day.
All right. How many penalties do I got on me?
Let's see. Whatever it is, it's -1, right? Because of the cocaine?
Yeah.
I think I got you up to level 3. Is that correct with your accounting of it?
Yeah, because I failed my exhaustion roll.
Let me double check what that means exactly, because I can't remember what level 3 is. So exhaustion is a penalty die on attack and characteristic rolls, speed halved, and all skill checks. So basically every roll now would have a penalty die, but since you're snorting some fat rails in the morning, you have a penalty die on your skill checks, but not your characteristic or attack rolls.
I don't think it's been made into powder yet.
No, it's just I
right.
like to imagine them
So what was the end result?
chopping up like a 3-inch by 1 inch line.
So it'd be a penalty for
Yeah.
the skill.
Right.
For the whatever.
Just 1 penalty.
Yeah.
All right, 2 dice at penalty.
But I think, hold on, it's been a while because we've been concerned with combat, but I think because your navigator's Hill and Hole, if you use him, then that was giving you a bonus that negates that penalty.
Okay. Yeah, I always make use of the navigator. No reason not to. All right, so normal roll, success.
So regular success, I believe, comes in at a 25-mile budget.
Yeah, will -5 and forage
Okay.
for the camels, because I think we need to start doing that. Actually, we're just shy of the well.
Yeah, we would just make it there.
Let's go for that. It might be better for them. Actually rest them up then.
Okay. So you break the camp and you set off into the desert just on the edge of the Rub al-Khali. To the north and the northwest and the northeast now is all giant dunes for as far as the eye can see. But you're in more of a lower, flatter, flat part of the desert. Makes for easier travel. But early on, you come across a great number of camel tracks in the earth. Difficult to tell the direction, but the amount suggests hundreds, perhaps, had passed this way in recent time. So all you can really do, though, is make a note. You could give a track roll or have your tracker go down there, or somebody else with track.
Yeah, I'll do a track.
Yeah, I think it'd have
With a hard roll could probably figure out direction and exact time.
Yeah, like I'd throw one out there, but it'd have to be my tracker that's actually making the attempt for me.
All right, well, we'll give a nod to one of our investigators first before we throw an NPC. So if you
Yeah,
want to give it
I'm not a
roll,
tracker, but I'll watch him.
Failed.
half a second while I get the character sheet open.
10,000 camels came this way.
Well, they came from all directions. They are facing all directions.
Including upside down.
Yeah, but going one way.
Yeah, well, a short conference with Stanton's men, you guys put your heads together, and you definitely don't overshoot the number. You think it is hundreds, but difficult to say whether they were passing, east or west or
I
which way
think
they were
they're
going.
all at that well.
But you can say that this was perhaps the day you were in the village, the night you were prepping to attack those ones out on the grazing lands.
So you're telling me it's from a while back then?
Yeah, what
days
is
back,
that? 3
yeah.
days? Yeah.
Then maybe perhaps they're not at that well.
Yeah, they could be anywhere by now.
We're going to have to risk it either way.
Well, I'll be scouting and I'll scout that well. I'll scout ahead.
Okay.
I'll take that direction for my scouting.
Is there, like with my navigation check on the map, is there any places I could warn him about to watch out for like ambush? They might be trying to do what we did to them. Not saying that these feet or footprints or whatnot tracks
Yes.
are indication of that, but
So in the morning when you, like early on, when you have your maps out and you can be tracing your finger around all these, the named wadis, because a lot of them actually have names. And also Wassa can tell you their names when you're like, well, you got Mr. Wentworth when you're out there today, be advised that this is going to look like this when you're there, and there'll be a lot of blind spots for you, a lot of ambush points.
just because of how bloody fast these bastards move, they could get around in front of us and set up any sort of mischief.
And you can see that on the map there, those darker sections where it looks like, the water has flown through. There's untold amounts of them. But the main ones, Wassa gives you names for, so like this is the Wadi X, this is the Wadi Y. And they, like the way he speaks of it almost sounds like the way an American would talk about like street names. Like it signifies something to the lay of the land in his mental map. And he actually does offer to scout or serve as a scout, either with you, Mr. Wentworth, or in some other direction, whatever the camp needs are.
Yeah, it'd be good to have him with me up front.
And Thompson, you've been you've been sticking with Wentworth as well on the scouting missions?
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Wentworth, before you set off, you and Thompson can make another attempt at learning the armor of the Wills. You just need to pass a hard intelligence roll.
Oh, okay. Let's try this again, Thompson. See if I can make sense of this gobbledygook. I didn't.
Let's keep at it. It took me a while, and
It's a real tongue twister.
I'm saying, and the ones you think are the things you think are the easiest, and I'll try that Vorish sign again if that's all right.
Yeah, go for it.
Nope, they are pretty damn difficult too.
Yeah, so you just don't grasp it for the day. There's something that lies outside of your skill set. Not that you don't think you'll ever achieve it, but it just does not come natural to you. You know, there's
Yeah.
perhaps Thompson had an academic's bent to him that allowed him to pry open the hidden knowledge or something, but nevertheless, you guys don't learn it. Roll a D4 for me, Brandon. I can mark when you can attempt again here.
Oh,
One,
nice.
tomorrow.
I'll try it again tomorrow.
But it felt like you were close to something, so that gives you a little bit of energy to give it a try again so soon. 1 second here. I like copy and paste. Okay, so set off on the trail, leaving aside, or you're just going to push for the well now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the Yemeni herdsmen looking at the camels with some concern since they haven't been able to graze very much at this stretch of the desert.
Yeah, we've been pushing pretty hard.
Yeah, and you know that they'll have, and you had the ones that you pushed a little harder yesterday, so there's a certain subset that are getting some extra care. Maybe you shuffled around their workload a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it is a concern if that well doesn't provide some sustenance for them. It will have to be
Hopefully,
addressed.
Wentworth can scout it out, say it's clear,
Yeah.
and if it's not, we have enough time to maybe burn the rest of the miles on grazing and give them some rest. But I think that well needs to happen. So at least Stanton does.
Okay, so during the early part of the travel before you break for lunch, you know, back in the main part of the expedition group, Mr. Stanton, please give me a extreme spot hidden.
Penalty? 1 dice penalty?
Yes.
Nope.
Well, it makes sense because your segment of the expedition is a little far away from them, but when you call for a stop and everybody gets off their camels and starts drying out the things that they need to, you know, have a quick lunch or what have you, you hear one of the Yemeni back towards the end of the column exclaim, and by ripple effect, you hear, you know, people saying what happened. You hear it comes up to your end. One was bitten by a venomous snake. So,
Yeah. I'm gonna figure most of my men are probably out scouting. So
right. I think you just have probably your wounded ones back.
Yeah. So I'll go try to offer first aid to this guy unless there's someone better.
Because
I think
I can.
you're out scouting.
Yeah, you're with Mr.
Yeah,
Oh.
you're out with me.
This is.
Wentworth.
I thought we just called this the halt. Oh no, the main camp. Sorry,
Yeah.
misheard.
Yeah, I think when you're scouting, you might only come back at the end or to report
I'll
something.
tell
that
Mr.
they- he needs
Wentworth.
to be aware of.
I feel that somebody needs first aid. I'll be back and race my.
Another
we need
chance
more
to,
idols.
Yeah, another chance to spread the word of Sithagua.
Yep.
So yeah, the scene when you get back to it, Mr. Stanton, as these Yemeni are gathered around one man, and you can give me a luck roll.
Characteristic, so does that count for a penalty as well?
That one doesn't have a penalty for you, as long as the cocaine's
nope.
going. So yeah, he's clutching down by his, you know, they have these sandals, right? Down by his ankle, where most of these bites happened, you gather, right after he got off his camel.
Probably stepped right on it.
Yeah, and so they're just, but the problem is the snake's not around, so you don't even know which type it is. But you can, with an extreme first aid roll, do some of those movie-style treatments for a snake bite, when in reality he just has to depend on
Luck.
either his own constitution or anti-venom.
Oh.
But knowing the snake would know
how bad it's
how
gonna be.
bad it would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you know the types out here from your research. So if it was a horned viper, he's going to be okay for a while. It won't impact him until it starts doing it. And then it could potentially kill him, depending on how bad the necrosis is from the venom.
Is there anyone that speaks English around? Could I, ask ask the man what type it was. Did he see it?
Yeah, well, you have Nigel there with you. Or no, he's been scouting lately.
Mhm.
Who else? And Wassa went out.
Now Cooper would be there.
Cooper doesn't speak Arabic. But you have some of the Yemeni speak broken English. So you have somebody who speaks broken English you can talk to.
Did he see what bit him? Don't say snake.
He just shakes his head, like kind of wilting a little bit when you come at him with the question. He's like, they have their own lore about who you must be and what kind of nonsense you'll brook. So he doesn't want to be shot. He goes to flee, but then he realizes that that's the incorrect thing to do, and he just freezes in place. But he shakes his head no, basically, and says no.
All right. Well, he's probably dead either way. Let's see if we can prolong this here.
Yeah. So anyhow, there's two. If it's the Cobra, then you'll know within a few minutes because he'll start dying rapidly.
So, yeah, I guess like I ain't sucking on any toes, so I'm guessing like tourniquet the area and hope it.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Was it
Extreme.
Extreme penalty of 1 dice?
Yes.
So 2 dice.
Or you could have your other.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah. So Stan will do the best he can.
All right, and I will do a roll on his behalf to see how he fares against this venom.
But yeah, like clean the wound and all that jazz. Nope.
Okay, given the time to, treat it and suss out or ask your questions of the Yemeni, you reckon it's not the Cobra
Okay.
because he isn't he isn't losing his ability to breathe and things like that. So it's probably you're looking at similar to a rattlesnake, it's going to kill the flesh near the bite, and then infection becomes almost an unavoidable problem, So it would require later on, if you wanted to save him, a medical roll, basically, to deal with it.
Well, he probably.
Or he could just get over it, if possible.
It is the game part of the.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that I'm going to take the time to bother
Yeah.
explaining anything. I'll just say, like, to the one that spoke the broken English is, well, he's not already dead, so it doesn't seem to be a cobra.
Yeah.
But I think you know what that means.
Yeah, they look with some concern on him, and he, in some sense, that's almost worse because right now he doesn't feel anything except some warmness in his leg. But it could be like that Walking Dead stage of certain things that, all it can be is worried about his future. But in your mind, ever calculating, that his disability, if it comes, will not be today's problem, likely.
Yeah.
So
Keep him going.
So yeah, you can call the end to the break and saddle back up if you wish, just at the normal time. Didn't really cost you anything.
Yeah. And this is why you don't wear sandals when you go on any sort of trek. Whoever thought of it?
Yeah, then you see their feet, and they're like just a callus at the end of their calf.
It doesn't stop fangs.
Right.
So.
But so we move on to the second half of the expedition, which concludes by this well, which hours earlier, Mr. Wentworth, in your scout role, the Vanguard Scout, you had been tasked by Stanton to see its status. And if you recall, when these were pointed out to you in the village, these were possible wells. They didn't know the state of them.
Yeah.
And the state of them will be determined by a group luck roll. So whoever our lowest luck-having individual is might still be Mr. Thompson.
So I've got a
64.
44.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still you.
Oh,
These camels are all going to start dropping.
So yeah, you see the well. It's shielded by some like an outcropping of rocks, but it's easy to pick out in the desert because it's a man-made structure. They set up these smaller rocks for the walls of the well, and you go over and peer down it, and there's just nothing. Dry as the desert you've been traveling through.
Okay.
Which serves as a good opportunity to return to the camp
Yeah.
and tell Mr. Stanton. So you guys arrive sometime before he calls it quits for the day normally.
Yeah.
And you see the expedition, the long line still moving across the desert. We'll put it put it in like this hex. Not the second one, the first one. When you see Mr. Wentworth and Mr. Thompson and Wassa come up on their camels from their scouting to report some information.
There's no water in that well. Did it look like there was any kind of good grazing up there, though?
Give me your survival desert roll at the extreme level.
No luck.
Well, you could try again by, after you report your message, heading back out and ranging in different directions than you went to find the well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but for now, you didn't see anything.
Well, so there's no food, there's no water, so Stanton would probably begin to give the orders for foraging.
Okay.
As that was the plan, so we'll probably end within 5 miles of the well.
Like here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's no point in pushing the camels harder than necessary now.
I will go back out. We'll go back out and we'll range around and see if we can find some good forage, and then maybe we ought to talk with Whiteman and see if he could dig in that well
area
and
tomorrow. And
maybe hit water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you go up to Whiteman, who's just sitting on his camel, like wondering, he's sort of away from Stanton to avoid any conflict, to keep the peace. And but he's looking with a curious eye at what the holdup might be or whatnot. And you ask him that, and he's like, "Yeah, I could do that. I think I've been seeing a lot of indication of things I wanted to take a look at, anyways. Provided you give me and my geologist now a second to get out there and look at it."
Yeah.
It'll cost a few hours.
We need the water anyway, so see if you can hit it.
Well, yes, sir. I think we can help you there.
But after I tell him that, then I'll start ranging around looking for forage
Okay.
that we can use.
All right. And so we got you who can do foraging. Who else has the desert survival besides Stanton Men?
I do. Unless
But
I
you're
count
kind
it.
of in the expedition.
Yeah.
I mean, you could give a harder roll just being at the expedition by, looking out around you. But
honestly, I think as exhausted as I am, it's probably best I
don't
roll.
Yeah. So, you can go in for a second roll, Mr. Wentworth and Mr. Thompson. This one is at the hard level.
No.
I'll spend 8 luck.
Okay. Yeah, spend it. Spend it all. Okay, so a little to the south of where the well was, along those wadis, which is a very nerve-wracking place to travel along, given what Stanton had told you about earlier, basically groups of Bedouin doing for you what you had done for them.
Yeah.
But nothing can be done for it. You do find there's a part in one of the slopes along these wadis that sees a consistent amount of shade because of a higher slope where the sun is usually at that has a lot of growth on it in the way of salt brush and what have you. Now, you wouldn't exactly call it grazing land,
right?
But it could be gathered
and
used in a pinch for some of the camels anyway.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll go report that. That I found some that we can eat anyway, or that they can eat.
Yeah, and if you're going to spend any time at the well tomorrow while they're drilling, you could send a separate team out to go gather it up.
Yeah.
Or take some of the camels, whichever way you want to do it. But yeah, there is some amount there. Now let me check with Nigel, because I think he goes a separate direction and also has a decent survival.
No, dang,
nice.
Nigel.
Good work, Nigel.
Okay, so by the end of the night, he reports that more to the north, right by the Rub al Khali, where it becomes the dunes, there's a pretty significant stretch of growth. He doesn't know how long it travels. It kind of travels roughly in the direction of Alafan, but they might be able to graze the camels there. Might be able to graze the thing. So it'd be like 10 miles north of the well. Well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good work, Nigel. Now die. There can only be one of us.
All right. So with the scouting done, the camp can be made just 5 miles short of that well. And you guys set up for the night. Was there anything that you wanted to do with your night? Oh, right. We have Mr. Flanagan.
Mm-hmm.
So you're all back in the camp. You have your guards out where they're supposed to be, and certain people doing various tasks. But Flanagan comes out at this point. This is in a short amount of time before he himself has to be called away to his machine gun nest to provide overwatch. But yeah, he comes up to you and he's like, "You ready to start your learning?"
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So yeah, he starts with a rundown of the weapon. Now, you're not ignorant of it. You saw it in the war, but they would usually like have one for a platoon, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas eventually it gets down to like the fire team level and everybody's cross-trained. But they were like these 2-man teams. And by the time you got into it, you were carrying ammo for it, but you weren't, certified to use it.
Right.
You've seen people do it. You know it was designed to do like walking fire, where you could put it on your hip and just advance towards the enemy. But he's going through all of those features, and he says it's gonna beat the crap out of your hip if you just try to do the walking fire. He shows you kind of like a little hack that they would do, where you put the canteen on your belt in a certain position and kind of cinch it in there. It's telling you about this little cup that they made and all these things that he has intimate knowledge of. And he's like, anyhow, this is the trick to shooting a machine gun. And he gives you some whiskey.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's like, are you ready to open her up tonight, or should we?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Oh, how much ammo do you got for her?
100 rounds, right?
I think you got even more than that, because you requested Stanton
Yeah, we have stock.
bring some more. So I think there's several basically boxes in a.
Oh,
in a
yeah, that's
kit.
right, because this is 30 outs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm, yeah. So, yeah, got lots.
Yeah, so he shows you it has that box magazine on it, which holds 20 rounds, and he just shows you all the basics, and it's real quick for you because you're trained in all these different weapons, and it's real easy to get going. But I believe if you open your character sheet, I did add it to it.
Yeah, you did. Got it, 5.
Yeah, so it starts at a 5, and most of that is because nobody anticipates what it's like to fire one of those before they do it. It's not quite the same. So it's very easy to move beyond 5. You just have to do it a few times.
Yeah.
But let's start here with Ray Flanagan's ability to train you. He might just be too drunk and give you incorrect information. But he also is a whiz kid on a machine gun. Yeah. He's very competent. It's just a matter of parsing his Irish brogue and drunkenness on top of that. But yeah, he gets you all set up, and he says it has a little bipod at the end of it that you can flip down, and he says, why don't you take it for a spin?
Okay.
Give her a whirl, and you can roll out your machine gun.
Okay. Yeah, I'll...
We're doing live fire. Might as well put the Yemeni to train him as well.
Right.
So that way not on the bar.
At the same time, yeah.
Yeah, if we're going to make all this ruckus.
Yeah, so there's a section of the camp.
Look at
Look at that. Nice.
Nice.
that. Nice. I got 5 skill, and I rolled a 5.
Yeah, so you had set something down. What would you have grabbed to make a target for you guys from the camp? Anything pop into your head?
There's a certain
Brandon?
snake bit.
Right.
Yeah, no, I guess I didn't think about that. Maybe like a tattered rug or something.
Yeah.
We can lay it down on the dune or whatever.
Yeah, you laid it on a rock that was poking out from the sand, and he gets a good distance from you. It's the maximum of its normal range, so it's about a football field away.
Yeah.
And he says, all right, just go for it. Don't anticipate it too much.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to work with her. She's the one in charge. You drink the whiskey, pull the trigger, she does the killing.
Right.
And so yeah, you do. And he's like, he gives out a low whistle, and he's like, not bad.
Got ourselves a natural.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Flanagan.
So you can put a check by your machine gun skill.
Okay.
And on top of that, since you actually made it, because just him teaching you would give you enough check to do it. If you choose to use that check at the end of the session, you'll get the full 10 points for this time.
Yeah.
Okay. And then down the rest of this firing line, you have the Bandars working with the Yemenis to handle their rifles better.
Yeah.
So you get little pops going off here and there as they fire their guns. And I think that about wraps it up.
Can
for
I
the night here. Go ahead, Mr. Thompson.
I was going to say, can I check in on Mr. Brown and Matt Vey?
Yeah. So, they're both in that impromptu medical area, and they're, it's kind of unnerving when you come up. The human in you is unnerved, at least. The burgeoning extraplanar prophet of you is excited. But,
The Herald.
The Herald, yeah. But, they have this set between their cots, and they're just sort of looking at it. In Brown's case, he's propped up on one elbow looking at it. He's still in quite a bit of pain, and in Matt Vey's case, he just has that expression of awe on him. Another thing that has changed in the tent is the Stanton's men that are wounded are kind of looking at the two of them like this is kind of sort of a curious thing, like, who are these guys? But they're not bothering them. They have their own concerns and wounds to heal. From your experience, it didn't happen right away. So you don't really see much with their wounds that you can discern unless you had some sort of advanced medical knowledge. You could give me a medicine roll if you wish.
No, mainly I wanted to make sure that they were hadn't given up on it yet.
They do seem to be good little disciples still.
As also seeing the interest of the other men in the medical tent.
Do you want to hear about our Lord and Savior?
How many of you would like to feel better immediately? Or not immediately.
Okay, so yeah, you can do your persuade roll, but as you are an out-group person with Stanton Inc., it raises the difficulty to hard, and also don't remember your exhaustion, or don't forget your exhaustion penalties. Please remember them on the roll.
Well, I think that I need to. I think that I need to wait until they start to show some signs.
The proof of the miracle.
Yes, and then that is when I will when I'll try to bring more into the fold. Because right now I have my experience. I've got two that are starting the influence. But if I start right now and they may be expecting like immediate type results, but as soon as they start to see like a hip wound or a guy with a hip wound start getting up and walking around, hopefully, then or even one of their own with Matt Vey, then it might be easier to convince.
Okay. Well, we will leave today's session with the last scene of Mr. Thompson at the edge of this medical tent, just looking at his two disciples as they are focused on the idol of Sathagua, that half-bat, half-toad-like creature with an ever-present grin. Thanks for playing, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On to the big 3-0 next week.
Yep, and next week we will reset the cap for skills, but you have one more with your cap still in place.
Yeah, I'll use that check for a machine gun.
Okay. This has been a Deathwatch production. Thank you for listening.